After 32 years of leading Activision Blizzard, CEO Bobby Kotick is officially leaving the gaming company on December 29th as Microsoft's acquisition deal is complete. Joining us right here on set to talk more about this and other things is Bobby Kotick. He is the founder and outgoing CEO of Activision Blizzard. And Bobby, you told us this was coming at the end of the year, and here we are at the end of the year.
And very happy to be here and looking forward to spending the rest of my life focused on more philanthropic efforts.
That's what your plan is after Activision.
Well, for right now, I think the thing that's been most important to me is veterans employment. And as we likely will be in a recession, what you find is veterans end up 2 to 3 times less likely than an ordinary citizen to find a job. And to date, our organizations have found 125,000 jobs for veterans, but we're just scratching the surface, and there's a lot more we need to do.
I mean, this is something you were actively doing at Activision Blizzard, but you were getting lots of different companies to come in and hire veterans. Where have you had the most success?
You know, it's actually small and medium businesses. Small and medium-sized businesses don't have the same stigmas. They are willing to engage in development of the types of veterans that we place in the categories that we're interested in. But then there's some very big companies, JP Morgan, Home Depot. And I think what people have found is that these are the very best employees. They're loyal, they're disciplined, they're hardworking. They're not looking for a vegan meal in the cafeteria. You know, these are exceptional people who you find that once you have them at the workplace, they show up and they deliver. And so I think it's our obligation, responsibility as a country to find more opportunities for veterans.
It's great to hear.
It is.
People who want these jobs and are happy to be in them.
And it's weird that it would be, I would think the stigma would be that you'd want people like that. Not what's the stigma that
PTSD. You know, why would you serve in Iraq and Afghanistan? You know, there's a whole host of things that we found are real stigmas at many companies about the risks of hiring veterans. And, you know, historically, the last 10 or 15 years, as people were coming back from Iran and Afghanistan, they were at least 2 times less likely to find a job. But in a recession, 3 times less likely.
It's so troubling that when you hear homelessness and suicide and things, and the numbers, I always say that can't be right. And it is right, and I don't understand it. And it's, you're scratching the surface, as you say, at this point.
Well, there are probably 1 million unemployed veterans who are able and capable, really, really fine members of the workforce. And so I do this with Jim Jones, who was former National Security Advisor and Marine Commandant, and a guy named Dan Goldenberg. And we have just, we've done a good job, and now I'm going to make it a full-time focus.
That's fantastic. Yesterday, Activision Blizzard, or Microsoft, I guess, put out some commentary about the changes that are going to take place at the company. It looks like a lot of the changes to the reporting structure. How do you feel about the future of Activision Blizzard within Microsoft?
Look, I feel very fortunate. Our company is now part of the most admired company in the world. And Satya Nadella is an extraordinary CEO. Brad Smith, their president, is unlike any executive I've ever come across. He is an incredible intellect. He's a great diplomat. And, you know, I love the story of how he got his job. He went in with a single PowerPoint slide, and it said, "Time for peace." And when you are a big company like Microsoft doing business in every country in the world in the way that they do, having somebody like Brad Smith is exceptionally helpful. And then the person who's running our business, Phil Spencer, I've known for a very long time. So the company's in great hands.
Let me talk to you about something that was decided by the state of California this week. This came with great fanfare when the California Civil Rights Department moved to take action against Activision Blizzard and said that there was discriminatory practices, that female employees were being subjected to constant sexual harassment. Well, this week they have now found that no court or independent investigation has substantiated any of those allegations about that systemic widespread abuse. It went from $1 billion that they thought the company was going to be liable for to fines that they did charge of about $47 to $55 million. But at the same time, the company is not saying that it did anything wrong. What happened? What happened with this suit?
Well, not because Andrew's here, but the best reporting that's been done on what happened is Andrew's.
At DealBook. Yeah.
And I can tell you that, we were very surprised originally when they filed the complaint, because one of the things that actually has allowed us to attract and retain employees over the last 3 decades is having a very welcoming, inclusive workplace. You can't make games for people in the 190 countries that we operate in without actually having really diverse talents. And one of the things that we found was that having a really great culture was a tool for recruiting and retention. So we were obviously surprised, couldn't understand how they could make such allegations. Obviously, since that time, they've fired the person who was responsible for filing the complaint. They brought in a new chief counsel who is a responsible citizen and, I think cares deeply about doing the right thing. We were able to resolve it in a way where the bulk of that money is going to our employees, not to the state. And once they were able to acknowledge that there was no widespread misconduct of any kind, we felt like it was time to actually move on.